Hi, and welcome to our first installment of Fireside Chats with Mama Hand. This idea was brought to us by Mr. Connor Eline, who is our first guest here. Connor was a graduate in the class of 2012, our first graduating class, and he was fundamental in establishing our Student Government Association here on campus. So, Connor, we just want to get some updates on you since you've left Gerstell. I understand you went to High Point, graduated from High Point University in 2016.
Yes.
So, kind of update us on what you've been doing since your graduation from college.
Well, since graduating, I came back and I took a semester off in the summer to get acclimated in our family's businesses. So we have our funeral homes, our monument company, and our flower shop. So I came back to kind of dive headfirst into all ends of the business that I really was, kind of in my beginning steps early on after college. And then in December of that year of 2016, I enrolled in CCBC for the mortuary science program, of which I started in January of 2017. To then begin my education for funeral homes or mortuary science to become a licensed funeral director or mortician.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's where you're currently now?
And that is where I currently
running,
am now.
understand, 3 different locations and 3 different
Yes.
businesses. So how do you feel that Gerstell helped prepare you for what you're doing now and running your family businesses?
I think a lot of it is, public speaking, first off. In my career field, we do a lot of public speaking to families, at big event halls or churches, whether that be dismissals or introductions to services. You're dealing with families on the worst day of their lives. So they're looking for you for that level of confidence and guidance to get them through that adversity, to navigate what's to come. And also just with managing your own employees. Part of being a leader is managing others and looking after their expectations and being a strong leader, especially in faces of adversity. With funeral homes and funeral services, there's a lot of adversity, a lot of family tension, a lot of logistics, a lot of operations with your staff and your family, especially when you work for your family as well. So having a lot of that guidance from Gerstell or a lot of the principles and attributes that we all continuously reference, whether that be in emails or book reports that we had in college, et cetera, et cetera. It's nice to have a little bit of confidence in some of those areas, and I really credit a lot of that to Gerstell and the value system that Gerstell has.
Great. Do you have a favorite memory from your time here at Gerstell?
Oh my goodness. When I look back at Gerstell, I remember the first time I ever toured campus. It was probably the tail end of 2003, probably the tail end of 2002. The resh wasn't even finished yet. They still had the painters. They were putting up the railings, the cast iron railings on the back of the resh through the Carolyn B. Smith Library. And they still had the painters painting the covered porch on the backside. And when you look down to where the pack is now, it was just one circle in the promenade versus the figure 8. And it was a brand new building. And Dr. Smith had his 100-year plan that he presented to everyone, but it was a vision that no one else could envision but him at that time because, quite honestly, the first building was just being finished. And it's amazing now to look at campus when you walk around to have multiple buildings. We also saw the pack being built. I remember our math class when we were learning about geometry and measurements. Mr. Anderson took us out and we had 200-foot tape measures and we were with the foreman and we were measuring out the basketball court in the dirt.
Wow. Okay.
So, seeing that whole ground up approach was incredible. It's humbling.
Now, what about the challenges of being in the first graduating class? How did that impact you?
Well, I think the joke that our class has is that we took a lot of arrows, or we were, quote unquote, the guinea pigs in some ways. There was a lot of a learning curve because when I started at Gerstell in 2003 in the 4th grade, we were seniors, quote unquote, for every year. So from then on, we were adding a grade as we went. I remember the backpack situation. You probably remember that when we had our textbooks. We were learning how to carry our books back and forth to home. So, there was a lot of really neat things that we did, a lot of adversity we overcame. But, it also is neat to look back at the Book of Knowledge with Mr. Slyman and Mr. Norm Smith. And Ms. Lapidaria was a part of it as well early on. The writing of the definitions of leadership, honor, and courage, and having some of those think tank class, and discussions. It was really neat to be a part of a lot of that.
And I remember that was brought up at your graduation, was that you did write the definition of leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Actually.
We did as a class.
Yes.
And that was 6th grade leadership class in the resh,
Yeah.
3rd floor.
Good memory.
I can remember it vividly.
That's a good memory. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some quick this or that questions.
Okay.
Okay. So, pizza or cheeseburgers?
Ooh, pizza. Gotta go pizza.
Okay. Toppings?
Pepperoni's a go-to. Everything is definitely good too.
Okay. A sports car or pickup truck?
Ooh, definitely.
Or
about
I'll throw in
utility.
there a golf cart.
That makes it tougher, but I still might have to say truck.
Oh.
Or a pickup. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That was my first car actually too, coincidentally.
Okay. There you go. Okay. Ravens or Orioles?
Little Connor would have said Orioles. I'll say Ravens now as an adult.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you changed this year.
It
Getting
has.
a little bit older.
This year might be a little different too, but it was a tough season.
Okay. Coffee drinker or tea drinker?
Black coffee, John Wayne style.
Ooh, tough stuff. Tough stuff. Okay. Emails or handwritten notes?
Definitely handwritten notes. I
Okay.
am probably the worst millennial when it comes to text messaging. All of my friends will agree to that message. So phone calls over text messages,
Definitely.
handwritten notes over emails.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect. And your favorite season of the year?
Definitely summer. A little biased towards golf.
Ah, okay. Just a little bit. Hence why you bought a house on a golf course.
Yes,
Maybe.
that is very true.
Okay. So, Connor, I just want to thank you. Anything else that you'd like to tell our families or the other alumni about what it was like being here, or any advice for any of our current students?
It was a blessing. I look back at my years at Gerstell, some of the best years of my life, and they're years that I continue to reflect upon, whether that be personally, with my family, with friends, or coworkers. My advice to current students and or alumni, especially alumni that are still in college, is to take in every moment. Mr. Slyman, I remember him saying this, and Mr. O in the 6th grade, they both said that high school would be the quickest 4 years of your life. I would agree with that statement, but I also would say that college might beat that. And then the years after college, it's a bit of a cliche. Everyone says every year goes a little quicker, which I guess is
As
true
you
as we
get
get
older.
older. But just to take in the little things in the moments and to never, forget to express your appreciation to those that are around you and the memories that you're doing and things you're taking part in, because in the blink of an eye, it's something you're looking back on. And that's how Gerstell is for myself and a lot of our alumni. And I think, in the future, you look forward to hopefully having those opportunities with, your future children and families as well, to have a lot of the same experiences.
Okay. So we can look forward to a couple more Elines coming down the road?
I can only hope. There's nothing on the radar anytime soon.
Okay. All right. Well, Connor, thank you so
So,
much
thank
for
you, Mama
joining
Hand.
us today.
Thank
It was
you.
great to see you.
Always great to see
and
you.
look forward to our next episode of a Fireside Chat with Mama Hand.
Yes.